Hello and welcome back to Bump Love. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel at home. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all content related to parenting and all things womanhood. The ambience where you see us right now is courtesy of the Golden Tulip Hotel located on Nakasero Hill. It boasts of luxurious rooms and suites for giving ultimate comfort for both business and leisure travelers. So if you're looking for a place to stay, a place to chill, spend time with your family, Golden Tulip is the place you need to check out. So now that hullabaloo is done, the meat of today's discussion, right? So being a parent means that you're going to experience many fasts. Yeah. And each milestone leaves you with a humbling and gratuitous feeling. So one of the most significant ones we want to discuss today is taking our children to school for the very first time. That's a big one. That's always a big one. Yes. And so we're looking at about 3 years old to kindergarten, not the ones of 1 year old for daycare or baby care or whatever. So average 3 years old, right? For kindergarten. Yeah, we're looking at that kindergarten with a backpack and uniform, sometimes not uniform, but like a nice first day where you walk and can even talk for yourself, you know. So if you're new here, just to introduce, we thought this would make for a really great conversation because just between us, amongst us, we have like a diverse range of children. Yeah, we have our first Bump Love baby, Angie's son, who's over 25. And then we have our last born, Zara. 3 years old. Has she started school? She just started school. Yeah, so we have like a whole gap of like spanning 25 years over different eras and different times and different experiences. So would like to each share, ladies, what was your experience? What was your experience, your first time experience taking your children to school? And again, maybe to educate.
You cried?
I cried.
You were beside yourself.
I cried.
Because the baby was crying?
No, and I cried because he was so small but so ready. And you know, as a parent, I'll be the type of parent who's like, I can't even take my child to boarding school. How? My firstborn had to go to boarding school.
For kindergarten?
Yeah, no, the first year of last year of kindergarten, he was in boarding school. Because remember, I was in school.
Yes, I remember.
And Ojo was like, Angie, that business of pick, drop, what, because he still had that job of you're moving all over the place. He said he said no. So
that must have been.
That's double.
Yeah, I went to Turi. By then there used to be that lovely headmaster, I think it was called Uncle Pat or something like that. It had just opened, but I saw him with his suitcase, my little kachum chum. I'm telling you, that time when now Asante went, I was brave. I cried after. But I
was brave, I cried after.
Also, for the first one, you cried at the schooling.
I had to. And it's like, Mama, I'll be fine. Please note, it was Thursday, and I was picking him up on Friday, the next day.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, which boarding? First.
Remember Taiba?
We need to explain.
Like you pick, like
Taiba. I don't know if they still do, but yes, on Friday you pick him up. So we took him to school on Thursday. When he's in his car uniform, then the matron was like, "We'll take care of him. He'll be fine." But my children, unlike me,
wait for the next week. You take on Monday,
right?
That also came. That I was like, let's first do Jaribu. Just for the first night.
Okay.
Yes. Then there was Monday.
You had to take him
back. I'm telling you, I struggled for a couple of months, whereby, and Oje told me, Angie, picking him, you're very quick. But taking him back, sometimes about like Monday evening, he's like, no, Angie, there has to be a schedule. You know, you can't keep, if you're going to pick him, make sure that you will drop him. Yet on Monday, I'm busy like, babes, you first drop Papa at school. But when I was picking him up, I didn't inform anybody. I'll drive from Kozi University, 85 kilometers, straight all the way to Ebbs.
Oh wow.
I sit waiting for my papa. So that was my, it was heartbreaking.
You can still remember.
For mine, I'll talk about Zara, the recent. Fortunately, I don't have to take her to school. I didn't have to because their father already programmed that his son would take them to school early in the morning. So his schedule is take the kids to school, go work out, and then come home and, you know, get prepared for work. But my excitement was just when I saw her in her uniform. She was so excited. She was so excited to be going with her brothers to school. So she was all ready, her uniform. And then she told me, so their uniform has a dress and then a trouser under. I was like, I don't like the trouser, but I love the dress. She was very excited. I waited for stories. In the evening of how it went. She wailed. The dad told me she cried.
I wasn't expecting that.
Imagine you.
Yeah, her brothers are in the same school.
Yeah,
But
the
different
same school.
class.
He didn't even wait for the end of the day. I called, how was she? They're crying because the brothers had to go to their classes and then they entered her into baby class. So the daddy told me it was like a choir. Everyone was it was like a choir with her friends. I think because everyone else cries, like, okay, I think this is the
This is how it works.
this is how it works here. Hey, yeah, so he told me he got weak a bit, but he had to let her stay.
Yeah.
And then also for Dean, my first, that was the same excitement. Seeing him in his uniform, because they are little, they are just starting after a week. And then you feel bad, you're like, Bambi life has started banging her. I know. Because she wakes up so early. Oh. By the time I pick her up at 1, she is tired because it's a new routine. She's like, well, what is happening? Because now even crying is not bailing you out. Every day it's the same routine. Go! Even if you cry, you have to go and laugh. So it's not saving you. So after 2 weeks, of course, she has to adjust and get used to the routine. Yeah, so that was my experience
But you
with
took
her.
the boys to school?
No, none. I've not
You've never taken
any
any
of. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's just some days when, with the boys, a few days when I would go with him. And that's if, because I also had to wake up and go to work. I had a demanding schedule. And it's always with the, you know, those Mondays where you also have a Monday meeting. Yeah, and that's when they have, for him, he's always had that luxury. So I haven't.
Okay.
And I've missed out on that one of the photo moments. I've seen booths at some schools. First day at school, it's so cute. First day at school,
really
so you
not.
keep a photo of. It's not? I think it's cute.
The child is going through a traumatic experience.
It's too much. Not every child. Others are excited.
But nange many children.
But most children are traumatized.
Our Sundays, our nursery
for you,
school
you
will
know.
tell you that most times that they are very traumatized. Now you're adding in also a picture. Maybe like after a week.
yes.
Yes. Or like this is, they're now in middle class or top class where they've gotten used. But first day of
But now that we've spoken of first day of school, children are made of two human beings. Do you see mommy who was crying? None of my children cry when they go to school the first day.
Yeah.
They sit nicely like this, like their dad, nice and quiet. Mommy, I'm away and sure. Now you see his lactose intolerant. You are telling now he eczema.
The mothers we are going to talk about
after,
they are coming for you.
Yeah. So for me, I think because of the cradle, Blake and Bianca got used to being left behind with other people in a group of children. When their mom drops, dad drops, then they go and then they will come back. So I feel for a very long time in their lives, they were prepared for that life, yeah. But
so some
I
of
do
us who
remember.
pass by cradle, they used to be the initiators.
Wow.
Then they have teachers. These are the
Then
ones,
Blake
come,
and Bianca, yeah, they're
this
showing
side.
people around.
You can see her kid is crying, but she's like, this is my size. Support stuff.
Keeping the kids quiet.
Yes,
Quiet,
organizing,
quiet,
yeah.
It's okay, mommy will come back.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were. Yeah, but I do remember them wearing their uniforms. And I remember something tugging at my heart, like they are growing. Yeah. I think that first day when they wear a uniform,
Yes.
something happens to you as a parent. You just, like you said, it's like life life has reached.
Yes.
Yeah, it has arrived.
has
for
now
this.
to
And
started.
then, yes, and so that's the emotion I feel like I went through.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about, oh, I'm leaving them behind, or my heart is breaking, or my, no, it was a thing of life has started, and they looked so cute the way the car uniform was. It was so small.
was what I was about to
like
ask.
it was a mini. Like
Did you notice most young boys when they're going to school, their shirt is as if
as
it's
if it's a big skirt.
I think even that just adds to yes, Mwana,
Teja didn't cry. Teja, I think it's personality. Everything I've seen him do, all the times I've taken him to school, I always, even when I was leaving, after maternity leave and going back to work, he's always had that, okay, I feel a certain type of way, but he always leans into the stronger side. I don't know if it's stronger, I don't know if to call it strength, but the macho side. I'm not going to. So you see it, and because of course I'm his mom, me, I see the struggle.
Yeah.
And for me, that's where the thing was of, and maybe it's me who has instilled it in him, I won't lie. It's maybe toxic masculinity of sorts, where I'm always saying that, sir, as in toughen up, boy up, you can't, now you want to act like the other ones. You're not supposed to compare your children, please not. But I think I'm always telling him, so I think there's that struggle. He speaks to his mind, to himself, and says, okay, there's this, but I need to boy up. It's okay, it's fine. Not there is. So I saw that struggle, but it all went through seamlessly. And I remember we took him to kinder care, which was our second choice school. So for me, my struggle only came for the fact that I had known a school that I knew was really good for him, Daffodils Kindergarten, but we were not able to get in because apparently you have to book when you're pregnant or something. And indeed, when I went to the school to sign him up, I was the 142nd on the waiting list.
Wow.
And because I'm not about struggle, I just said it's okay. Yeah, let me go. And so kinder care was our second choice school. Luckily, we got him in. So I had some comfort. Yeah, my friend, I had right from kindergarten. I had first choice, second choice, third choice school. Where they took us and accepted us properly is where I would fit in. So he fit in really well. I went with one of my closest friends, Emma Asimwe. She asked me, can I escort you to go to school? I said, come, let's go. And even I wasn't sure. I was like, I need that support. But what if I get ashamed and cry? Then I have a witness. Then they're going to tell other people that she's crying. So I was open crying. Oh, Lord. What a shame. But it was all fine. There was that. But I was so excited, like the whole day. I was excited for him. I just wanted to pick him up. I wasn't even thinking of much that day at work. And just hear stories. And the pickup was even more fun. But the other children, choir. But many were kawa. Actually, what if I remember really, many were fine. But there was a group there that was not okay. They were inconsolable. It was a nightmare, a mess.
And yet I think, when I remember the boys didn't cry.
It's mostly the girls. Now the boys who cried, girls, or it's because you expect maybe the boys who would cry were like going completely running to the gate, running after the cars, like they were the most dramatic.
How long did you sit there?
I was there with like this at the gate checking.
Why are you talking about that part? To see if Teja is among the boys who are running to the gate.
Go back.
Don't you dare think about it.
It's so dramatic. I remember the first, because I do the picking, then I takes her, then I pick. So the first time I picked, one had peed in their trousers. One had literally tied a lace to watch them and like,
I think the funnier ones are those who maybe not funny. Okay, me I laughed, but it can't be funny for the parents' sake. That's why who are not potty trained.
So
Rachel, how was
I feel like I stumbled into that fast. And here's why. By the time Micah started school, so I've talked about his delay in speech. So really it was like crisis. Oh, there's this thing. So we've seen the PID. He has recommended go to this school. So he's like, okay, now we are just going with the recommendation. So, but yes, it was like any other fast. And yet, interestingly, he had been at my mom's. My mom was running a daycare at the time. There were other children. So yes, he was in a space where there were other kids. And so when we took him, of course he wailed. And Micah is those kids who would wail until it's like, you have to take me home. That wailing of...
That's how the boys walk.
That's dramatic wailing.
The other side.
The dramatic wailing. And you guys, it broke my heart.
Yes, it does.
It broke my heart because I was just like, my child. Yeah, we were together. For the first, we were definitely together. And I was just like, it's too soon.
Yes.
He's so little, you know, and yet I know that he needs the help. I can't offer it now. This is the best place for him to be now. So I was not okay.
Yeah.
So I can relate.
Yeah.
I was not okay. And suffice it to say, I managed to make a friend whose son was also in the same place. So we bonded over that situation. In fact, yes.
So did you have to cry?
We cried together, talked about it, and consoled each other. And to this day, we are actually very good friends. Yeah. So it was, I guess it was like a win-win. I made a friend, and eventually we outgrew the crying. Micah cried. The crying, I think it lasted a week. Yeah. It lasted a week. And then eventually he would cry. Of course, they eventually settled. Yeah, it was a very hard week. It was a very hard week. So I would leave him crying, and I would go away, and there would be a constant lump in my throat. Yeah, I was so sad.
And then you pick him
I
up.
was so sad. Oh, he would have moved on. And that's the thing about kids.
Thing about
Yeah,
them.
they are resilient. Yes, it's like a separation.
Then they
Yes.
forget the next day.
They forget, and then the following day they repeat the.
Actually, there are different kinds of kids. There are different kinds of kids. There are those ones who cry in the beginning, when at the point of separation, the younger they cry. Then there are those who give you doses. Then the mother goes, they stop. 20 minutes later, they're like,
Where is this madam? Yes,
my mother. Then they stop. Another 20 minutes.
Anything triggers tears.
Yes.
Another one cries the whole
day.
But just in then there are those who cry that from beginning
The whole
up to the end until you pick them up. Nga they are crying down. Nga they are just there. Nga they don't stop. They cry. So you have to just whenever, for those of us who have schools, we just wait to see the type we have received. And you don't even need to take long. You just may tell the parents. So yours is the one who cries the whole day. And yeah, you have to tell them. You have to tell them because they get scared. They're like these ones here. Then they come and say, no, I think there was a time a parent told us that, but you know, I think that you shouldn't overteach. You just, when he gets tired, stop. You're like, Mkwano, that's not how life is. Yeah, it's not how life is going to be.
But you can see he's been conditioned from home that if you insist on something, we will change.
You just need to cry, and then
everything will be fine. So you do have to talk to parents. They know that it's not like a shock to them. Then there are those who the child who cries just for that moment. He can't even throw himself. Then when they see that gate, they're like,
okay.
That one has gone.
I think it didn't work, so let's move
on. Let's move on.
Then there are those who cry at the beginning and at the end. When they see their parents,
Yes.
and then
When they've picked up other
where
people.
you left me, never they will be
The whole day.
That reminded me of those sibling rivals, like when mommy is back. The last one remembers story of something that happened in the morning.
That was everything.
There was a social media post that kind of went viral that gave us such a good laugh, and we shared it in the group. Actually, that's really what prompted this conversation. And it was like a representative of the drama, can I say, that happens in schools today when parents are dropping off their children. Rachel shared it with us. Can you maybe read for the viewers?
So it goes to Mideko millennial first-time parents dropping off their firstborn to school this week. They arrive in 2 cars separately. Auntie Mommy is a lawyer at Maria Galleria and Dad is a banker at Equity. So they all get out of their cars, lift the poor pre-primary baby, normally called names such as Patronella, Gabrielle, Michelle. The father holds one hand as the mother holds the other hand. The maid in sapatu follows behind carrying the baby bag and bottom with cocktail juice, gorillas, etc. They ask 100 questions to the teacher in 1 minute as they pass on 50 instructions as well to her. They all remove their classy phones and take down the teacher's number. They all pick the baby turned student in turns and head out toward their cars. The mother remembers something and mentions to the maid, normally called Nambwere, Namaganda, to go and tell the teacher to give the student his or her juice at 10 a.m. Bambi. They drive off after giving the maid 2K for the border back to home. Then the hashtags begin. School things, hashtag Daniel's first day, hashtag education is key.
Yeah, and that is not even an exaggeration. It literally does happen. I mean, like the first thing, of course, I want us to unpack the post. So the first thing I noticed was about the busy parents. Yeah. Because we are living, let's not pretend, we are busy. Rosette said it immediately, that no, the dad has a more flexible schedule, so he takes the one to school. But I think that this mother was not allowing. We were accepting we are busy, but we are both taking Patronella to school.
But Patronella came in which cow? Whose cow? With the maid.
I think the mom was not having it, and I think there were conversations that you should be able to openly say and admit. Okay, yeah, I know we all want to take a kid. Like for me, I have to go to, like, I cannot not take my child to school. I can't. Yeah. However busy I am that day, they will know. Yeah. I'll find you later. Yeah. Taking my child to school.
The first day.
The first day.
Yeah. True.
But for me, when I read it, I didn't think that the mom is the one who wanted to go. I felt like the mom was like, now we know better. When got daddy.
That's what I mean.
That's what you meant. I thought that you were saying her.
No, okay. I feel like it was like, no, we have to. Yeah. Instead of having the kind of conversation that Rosette has at her home, and you agree and compromise, she was like excuse me, sir.
You have to be there.
You have to be there.
No, people, sometimes
I swear I feel like that's what
you've got that end.
So
think about it. If this is Najemba and Haj, right? Haji is self-employed. Najemba, Coca-Cola. Yeah. But first day, at least like there you've said, first day, Twino Kubeda.
That's what they're saying.
But then you're saying, like she said, we have to both be there.
We feel like just from the post. When you look at the post, that's about.
So we are going in different directions. One is going to Namamve, another is
at the end of that day. Like, can't you?
And it is beginning of day that is there.
I have no problem with that. Yes. Even me, I was telling Mr. Mlono, guys, like Manuel, I'll be working. I'll be on radio. First, I am also insisting. You mean to say that we can't call you a boss? And you are there for your child's first day of school.
But why must they won't even remember?
I think that's a woman thing.
I think that's a conversation we are having. It's just that,
for me, my take is, the kids won't even remember I was there. Maybe if I take photos or I was within class, but they won't remember. So it's just for you.
It's you.
For you to not feel guilty. Oh, which mom am I, who doesn't? But because for me, this year, I have the luxury to pick her because I was there. Okay. And actually the teachers were like, hey, it had to be you. Oh my God, I didn't see you on the boys, but here I see. So I had to pick her right on time.
Sometimes it's a girl.
I think for me, what confuses me is the role of the maid in all of this.
Lol.
Let's start with the
Why is she in slippers? First of all, why is she coming?
Why are they attacking us, the Namaganda?
Why is she called Namaganda and Nabwede?
Maybe she was in the evening should be the one to come to pick at 1 o'clock. They need again. Yes. Auntie, because she was mopping the house, which you saw was open, and they don't give you time.
Positive person, because me, I'm usually positive, but for this one, I really went the other way. I really felt like there were those parents who are too busy. You've met those parents who move with a maid all the time, mostly because the child is more comfortable with the maid than them. Yeah, and the parents maybe are just too we're not doing that. Like I'm
let's
not.
not go through that
Let's not
drama
go through that
now.
drama.
Okay,
I don't have the time.
there's also
Let
this-
Namaganda come and bridge
Natuyamba
that gap. And
that
Natuyambako, yeah.
Might even console her if she
There's
starts
also
crying.
We can even maybe leave her there. As we have to go to Maria Gallery.
Because that's what I did.
Leave her there.
Yes.
Leave the maid.
Yes.
Oh, you went with the maid?
Yes, Auntie Bitu went to school.
And waited? But why did you say these things in the hope that we don't know that we're talking about you?
No, it's good. It's good.
Mama, the first week, they allowed. They allow.
Oh,
Who is they?
The school. For the, yes, for the child to, if you think, so yeah.
But you still cried that you've left Auntie B to
No,
there.
no, Auntie, now I left Auntie B to now for Mwisho, but for Papa, it was me.
Yeah, okay.
I left my child
So you
there.
knew the pressure, you knew what was going to happen to you. You called Auntie B
For support.
You said assist me because I
Auntie B was the best, I swear.
So when I read, the other thing I read about this, when I read this post, for me it seemed like the experience I go through when parents are leaving children for childcare. Where it is before school. When the kindergarten side, I've not felt it like that. I don't know if you have. I don't know if you guys are aware. She's now a headmistress. She's a full principal of our school.
So it's kindergarten, but and primary, SCE curriculum. though.
SCE curriculum, yes. So I don't know if you've experienced it, but I don't experience it that much for kindergarten. However, for daycare, now I have a personal experience of one child. In fact, may the parent forgive me, but we were all in shock. 2 cars came, basin, bed, bottle, whoa, the whole mood. Everything entered inside. It filled the cradle. In fact, the cradle, the school became
like to mirror the
home.
environment.
The school became their whole. And in the evening, they would come pick out. So imagine you have people collecting, ferrying things and removing them every day. And I would be telling, I'd be wishing that other parents can come after that child because they would put everything
On hold.
in the school to just the potty is driving. When you put it with all our potties, we just hide our potties. We just hide our potties.
And you were
Bed
accepting
sheets.
of this?
We were. Let me tell you guys. I think people, you don't know yourselves. You know when that person wrote that story, I was smiling. Because you don't know yourselves. You don't know yourselves. You as parents, you think that you are simple, and in fact you think that and low maintenance. Kumbe, you are something else. You call anything small like this, you are on pressure. And now for me, my school of thought is, I understand.
You just say, you know what?
I understand. And every child is different, and every parent is different, and they are going through different experiences. And in my mind, I'm just like, it's okay, let everything from outside happen. When they come in and start the schedule, the parents will realize that, oh, you know what is, you don't need all this. It's okay. And then you can win the parent off. So the truth is, we do both. We win the parent of their child, we win the child of their parent. But to be able to do that, you need a parent to have peace. You understand? And for them to be at peace, not just because you want their money, but because the truth is, that's how life is. And this is the first time, this is the first rite of passage that a child is getting. It's the first rite.
You allow them to do all this drama.
You allow them. Yes, and we even assist them. You even assist. You're like, Banage, did you bring the diapers? Hey, bring the whole 3 packets.
Doesn't it make it seem like maybe their child transitioned because of what they did? They're the ones who made it easier. And yet there should be a structure in place immediately. So, because I feel like if my child is now transitioning, I'll be like, oh yeah, now they have transitioned because at the beginning, I established a home environment that mirrored a school, that their home.
You see, by the time
so
you
I
come
think
back,
it's
you
them
realize,
who's working.
So no, when you, by the time you come back, you realize that, or my child did not sit on the feeding chair that I brought.
Okay.
When they took
Okay.
pictures
Slowly by
of them,
slowly, yeah.
The one
they
not
were
on the
seated
I
with
get
the
it.
other children.
But you accepted
But we accepted the feeding
get
chair
it.
very well.
get
And we
it.
put it there. When you brought beds and whatever, we still put the child with the other two. But you bring the bed.
Yes, if it
If
gives
it
you
makes
Yeah.
you feel
Yeah.
better
Yeah,
as
and
a
I-
parent, maybe you bring the bed. If you even want the maid to be around, yes,
Auntie
let
B
her
to
come.
be-
Yes.
Auntie B to come. But when Auntie B to comes later, she will tell you, "Now your money, mommy." Techeta.
Nera.
Then she will go back
And
home and
her
report.
herself, she will go back and
Yeah.
report, because us will encourage that the child leaves Auntie B too and joins
Auntie B to
everybody else.
abataina
Yeah,
chakula.
abataina chakula. You
Nera,
get-
she,
understand what I mean?
after a week,
After a
we
week,
were
I'll tell
okay.
you.
But Aunt Bit wanted to stay there more.
Wow.
Oh, those
Then
were
you
her
have all
babies.
those ones.
She's like, Mani, I know kulia bulisaw. So now Mickey would finish
time for
eating
the
his
100
food
instructions.
and eat also for the
100
friends. So Auntie
instructions,
Bit is like, we need to have.
Yes.
Oh, and I want
you
to
know,
hear the instructions. I really want to hear them.
the 100
because you are definitely,
intolerance,
he's lactose intolerant.
Yes.
He's allergic to what?
Lactose.
No, I mean, yes, I get that, but what
Yeah.
else is he allergic to? Aren't you the parents who give teachers and caregivers?
Yeah, like now after he's finished
Instructions.
eating, you need to give him a fruit, otherwise he'll eat his neighbor's food also.
Okay.
No, small, just to prepare them.
small things for what is going to occur.
All right.
And you know, and what parents don't realize is that your child is so busy.
It's
on that
true.
day. Because we have carved out
Activities,
every minute
yeah.
of their lives.
Yes.
They don't have time to eat somebody else's fruit.
you used to
They
eat
don't
it.
have time to. They really honestly don't have that time, because they have activity
Manuela,
upon
when a
activity.
child sees something that they like, they don't have time to
No,
ask for it.
what I mean is, and I'm saying this in a general sense, where you come and say, you know, now my child, after he has eaten, he wants to sleep.
He needs to
Because
take a
this
nap.
one here, he needs to take a
That's
nap
what I
after every meal.
understand.
And then he'll also drink. You see, madam, he only drinks when he's running around. So you have to run around with him. Don't force it. Don't force it. I'm telling you.
But guess
That's
what?
we
I
go
think
through.
you have the right to express
You
yourself.
express yourself.
And it makes it easier also for
No,
the
no, it
care
doesn't.
giver
As
to the end
as
of
we
the
just
day.
say, okay. You know why? Because when your child sees other children sitting and
will
drinking, he also
sit
sits
and
down and drinks.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? And he's no longer under this
yeah.
drama of
So
running around. He's like Munang. Everybody has sat. Very few cases will you have that child who continues to be like that. But if you have a very good transitioning policy for your child, in fact, we will talk about tips. But if you have a very good transition policy for children, that child, in the beginning, they will not drink as much. And you should be able to tell the parent that, yes, he drinks 100 milliliters, but he started to run around, and I could not run around with him because I have 19 other children to care for.
That's why we'll give
So-
Auntie Beach to come and run around.
Lol. Auntie Betty has also become support system.
Life is going to be so difficult. If I can ease a bit of it as
But
we
you're not
go.
easing much. After a week, remember, he will be drinking all his 100.
I now
all
know.
his-
I now know I'm not. But we are speaking to parents who are
Who
in
are-
that
who are just-
position of.
Because also the routine is changing. Every routine, what they were doing at home it has
This
to
is true.
change.
This is true.
You
And
know?
that's the source of the anxiety. That's separation
Yeah,
anxiety.
because
and for
you-
both the parent
Yeah.
and the child.
Because you'll be like, okay, for me he does milk at 9. At school it's supposed to be 10 after the activity. So we don't want, and even when Auntie B2 has come, they're not going to allow that baby to take milk at 9. Before time.
So maybe
we
now
need
this
to-
is the right time to speak to offer some tips to first time parents that should mostly solve or ease the pressure of this separation anxiety.
Because let me just remove what's not there. What you talk about, I kick off. This topic, I was really looking
You were really
forward.
looking forward to it. Yeah. I think number one, if you have chosen a school for your child, I think let's start by trusting that that school knows what they are doing, and the reason that they are in business or the reason that they have been created is to support your child. And I feel like many times as parents, we deter the transition, we lengthen the transition process by bringing all these things. This is his favorite potty, this is his favorite toy. Or when the child is crying for a toy, you give him bubbles. The bubbles are going to distract other children and disorganize the routine at school. Or when your child is going to school, or maybe you even decide you're going to come late because you're trying to calm your child. Trust that the school knows what they're doing and then work with them to help the transition. What I would want as a parent is to actually try and sever the tie as quickly as possible. Allow the crying and all, and I'm sure Manuela is going to speak to preparation, because for me that's a lesson I learned the hard way. Even up to now, I prepare Micah for things. I tell him now, we are going to visit Auntie so-and-so. Yesterday we went visiting and he was like, oh, are there friends? I'm like, what kind of friends? Little friends. I said, I don't think so, but we'll get there and see. So he's like, are we going to be there for a short time or a long time? I'm like, we are going to be there for a moderate amount of time. I'm not, but short, not too long. Oh, okay. So like having those conversations, even with your children as little as 2 or 3 years, tell them now you are going to this school. I'll be picking you up at this time. And then when you come, don't, when the child starts to cry, yes, allow for soothing and saying, okay, now I have to let go. Don't, and this is an argument I used to have with my husband. He would linger. Yeah, and I'm like, don't linger. Like, say bye, say it's okay, bus, yes, I'm going to come and pick you. Yes, at lunchtime, and you can even say, I'm going to do something nice for you. We can go maybe pick a snack or whatever. And then say bye and go, you know. And yes, they are going to cry. My mom is the one who keeps saying, crying is normal and healthy in children. Yeah, so he will cry. Is he wet? No, he's not wet. Is he hurt? He's not hurt. It's just a separation thing. So yes, let them cry it out. I don't appreciate lingering parents. Just don't stick around, because it makes it worse and it makes it harder for the child to sort of, so I guess for me those would be my tips. Not too fast, like allow
like a balance.
Yes.
A sweet balance. Make sure you say the bye.
You say the bye, yes.
Don't linger.
Don't
you
linger,
say the bye,
yes.
go and don't run. Don't just disappear. And you know, no, Angie, you were in school also. I wish we could have a stay-at-home mom share her experience, because I feel like the anxiety must be much worse for them. Because there is a point where we are going back to work after, and something is keeping us busy. Yes, so I feel like there is a part of that separation anxiety that we prepare both the child for and ourselves when we are going back to work after maternity leave. But the first time a stay-at-home mom is separated from her child is taking the child to school. This is after 3 years. Imagine. As there is some healing we did, or we broke a virginity we broke at 3-4 months there, right? And now there's another time when they are more aware. But me, I'll just maybe share what I did. All the stages of school that my son has gone to, that's kindergarten, that's primary school, and now high school. I have gone to the school and spent a day before.
Oh, a day before.
Not the day before. When I was choosing the schools, I chose my schools to put that trust. When you're trusting a school, you should know the school. How can you trust what you don't know? Some people take their kids, they go to those schools for the first time to pick up maybe requirements list, registration form. That's all. When I went to Daffodils, when I went to Kindercare, I spent a whole day and interact with the children as well. With the teachers we speak, and just so I want to get a sense of what they are like. I go to the bathrooms to see what the bathrooms look like. Interact with a head teacher mostly, because a head teacher usually, teachers, okay, you can get a sense of the school, but there's something about the head teacher. We like the principal, like how Manuela is speaking, and she tells you, you know what, as we are accepting, you come with all your things. But me, I know what I'm going to do, and I know what is going to work. They give you, if I feel like head teacher doesn't give me a sense of peace, I'm not going there. It's not going to happen. We have to align with the values and belief systems of the head teacher. So I attended, even Teja is in high school today. But before we put our first choice in St. Mary's College, I went. And even pretended I went, and this is how I went. I called an old boy And I asked, is there any activity that is being done at the school that a parent can go for? I didn't want to just go and check myself. It looks funny. So they told me, oh, they're doing career guidance. Remember, these are now high school children. They do career guidance. And went and did career guidance for A-levels in St. Mary's College, just to interact with the boys and find out, do I still have the same values? So if I could do it for my 13-year-old son, what about 3-year-old? So that, for me, that gave me peace. And the piece to also understand what the school is about. So when I'm talking to my child, I tell him what to expect in the school. So by the time he's going, of course your child has to be communicative at this time. Some people take them much younger. So by the time he's going, he knows what to expect. I'm not over-promising things that I can't fulfill. And I'm telling him that this is what you're going to find there. And then when I come and I've been talking, remember with the head teacher, now you know how children are. They get that sense of, hey, that's mommy's friend. They know each other. So it's not the first time where, they are cool. And then you come and say, oh, yes, Teja. Oh, is this Teja? Yes, that's Teja. Oh, nice. This is a good. So now they know you. So that's the boy thinks, hey, these people must be.
They know each other.
I mean, good.
I mean, good. Yeah. So if you're calm and collected, because they feed off your energy as well,
that's the one.
They also become okay.
Children feed off. And allow me to talk about that thing, because parents don't get it. When you come worried with your child that they will not be fine, your child feeds off that energy. Because you'll find parents who are very excited. You're starting school, and the child is like this. I don't know if you guys have seen that car video of a girl saying, bye, 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 bye. She's so excited. She's going to come back. Even the dad is like, hey, you're going. The production should add it. Because I even showed it to Branda. We are laughing at her girl. She would open the door and say, bye, bye, bye. You know, like that. She's so excited. So yeah, that thing I really wanted to talk about, feeding off parents' energy.
When you kept saying bye and bye, don't linger on the bye, I was reminded Zara's brother said bye to her a certain day when she was entering her class. So when I went to pick her, she was angry. She kept on saying, this guy said bye to me, didn't say bye to me. I was like, what do you mean? They didn't say bye. They said bye to me. So I understood when they came back in the evening. They're like, she cried so much because we were leaving her, we said bye. So that's when I put the dots together. Yeah, they said bye to me like they left me. How dare you say bye to me, leaving me here stranded alone. Yeah, but for me, it's just to have peace. If you're not, because me, I'm naturally a peaceful person. I easily get calm and peace, but it mostly comes from prayer. If I have prayed for my kids that the Lord will watch over them, there's a sense of peace it will give me. But I like what Pumla said. Having that trust, because I know the school already, I know they will be good, so there's nothing to worry. And anything can happen to your child, even when you trust the school, anything could happen. So for me, my comfort and peace comes from when I have prayed and trusted that the Lord will take care of my children. But if you're not a naturally peaceful person, it's your first child, you waited, you looked for that child for many years. When the child came, you're not at peace, you can't let go. Exercise it before, like, really, because you guys said you have to, let the kid get ready and yourself. You have to, but mostly for you, because the kid, they can't get ready enough. They can't get ready enough. Or you've told them you're going to, but they'll be like, Dad, is this what you talked about? Excuse me, take me home. Yeah. So mostly for you, and I believe when Manuela says they will feed off that anxiety they are seeing in you. Okay. They'll be like, hey, come, take me. So yeah, find peace. For me, it's prayer. Yeah.
For me, as an older parent, I just think do whatever works for you. Because somebody else would also say, you going and spending a day at the school is too much. Yes. But if that's your way of understanding the school, some of us, we carried, there was people of the suitcase, what, everything we are carrying. And in Mpola, I realized they go reducing. I make friends, especially in the schools my children were going to, it was important to make friends with the TAs.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I always, teaching assistant, I always tell people, the teacher, the main teacher is there, but speak to the teaching assistant. Those are the people who really know your children, your child. But with regards to preparing for a child to go, same thing as potty training, breastfeeding. Just do whatever works for you. You know, because you could be there, oh, I'm going to be peaceful. God knows you're not a peaceful person. And even the child you produce already has those who think things. Mine was faster because my children's, their character leans more to their dad. So me, I can be over, you okay? It's like, Mom, I'm okay. I'm okay. I live, of course, with every child, you get better at it. With Asante, of course, it was a bit of a shake because she was a girl. But by second, third, fourth, you kind of just, you run with it. The truth is there is no formula, but let the experts
who have formulae. No, but the truth is you guys have said it, so I'll just say what you haven't. Prepare your child for school. And I mean the practical ways, not these ones of, but can your child actually go to the toilet? Please, please help yourself and assist yourself, because their experience at school makes them, on top of being separate from you, they also can't go and take themselves to the toilet. They also can't communicate when they want to pee or to poop. They are just a problem in the class. No. Just do yourself and your child a favor and do practical preparation for your child to go to school. Let them be able to communicate that they want to use the toilet. Let them be able to go to the toilet. Let them be able to clean after themselves in the toilet. Let them be able to wash their hands after they are done. Let them be able to eat food and feed themselves. Because they are now going to school. They are not going to daycare. They are not going. No, they should be able to also feed themselves.
So that means to say, and what I'm getting from you is that the more dependent a child is, the harder it is.
For you as a parent, because the real reason as to why you're fearing is because there's so many intricacies about your child.
That's what I was going to say.
You understand?
I feel like if you have not done the work to make your child independent, ready and independent by the time they're going to school, that's when you have more fear and anxiety and more insecurity about that transition.
Exactly. Yes.
But hold on, also the age. The suitcase briefcase story we're talking about, remember I had to go back to school. So 9 months he had to start school. So that's why there was that whole suitcase.
That one was daycare.
Yes.
I'm talking about
now school, P1,
like
nursery. Should ideally, and this is all factors constant, of course.
Yes.
This is an average child who is able to have hit
all their milestones. Yes.
Because those who, like you said, those who things
they're still wearing diapers. Now you're in diaper rush. They're using a bottle to feed. Those are the things that are actually
at 3 years.
Yes. Those are the things that give you anxiety.
I had a bottle here somewhere. The child was crying with a bottle. The canipa was stuck here.
Yes. It's so
true. The bottle was full, so imagine it's hanging.
Yes.
But he's still able to.
They've cut the what?
At the same time.
They've cut the.
Like, he'll even suck some milk. Guys,
they've cut the nib off the top because they needed access. So you as a parent, get your child ready and independent. That's when it will feel so much easier for you. No, Rachel. Let us be honest, Rachel. Auntie, you own a school.
Find an auntie. You know the reason I'm saying to the best of your ability? Because we are discussing busy moms. These same moms you're talking about are working at Maria Galleria.
Now,
when are they starting? Which is why I'm saying do the best you can.
Let Rachel. I think on this show we need to reach a place where we tell parents the ultimate truth. Let me say why. Because when you go to school, you're going to take your child, you're paying school fees for your child to learn. Not for someone to teach them how to do your job for you. You understand? And I want us to be in a place as Bump Love where we can encourage moms to be better. Yeah, you're busy. You're busy. No, all of us are busy. But let's say you are the most busy in the world. Yeah? The truth is, Rachel, when your child goes to the toilet, you as a mom, how long does a child go to the toilet? And then you say, tell me when you've come out. Because you're there. And let me tell you, we said this thing like moms. No, they are not at Malaria Galleria. They are at home on their laptop or they are on their phone or looking at the internet and social media, yeah? Because even as moms, we know when we say that we are busy, yeah?
But we are saying the same thing.
We are saying the same thing, but the way yours came out...
And can I explain what I'm saying?
Yeah. You explain to the viewer.
I want to explain that we are saying the same thing.
Explain to the viewer.
When I said do the best you can, I'm not saying don't do your job. I'm not saying
that's some people the best they can.
Yeah.
Then you're not guys.
That's what we're not accepting.
No, so yes, and I agree with you. The best you can, dear mother, is not doing anything. Is not doing anything at all, and leaving that responsibility to the maid. You must get involved.
To the teacher. Not leaving it to a
or
teacher.
To the teacher. What I'm saying is carve out time in your busy schedule and do this stuff. That is the best that you can. I'm not saying leave your job or continue with your job and say, after all, I need to get money to come and pay you educators to take my child to. So we are on the same page. Best you can is carve out time.
The best if you can't teach your child, take them to daycare. Okay, Manuela, where they shall be taught potty training and toilet
just to
training.
Try and understand what she's trying to say. I'm thinking there's some parents that have struggled, like they feel like they've done potty training, it has just refused. Maybe that's what she means. She has done all she can, but the baby has just jammed.
Because if that baby has jammed, who said that the teacher who has 19 children to take care of is not going to manage? You who failed your own child.
My child is 6, now I have to take them to school.
No, but then if it failed you to teach potty training,
so
what makes you what I'm saying is, can you be just fair?
No, but
and if you're unable to prepare your child, take them to daycare before they start school, where there are people who are there to help your child get ready for school.
That makes sense.
Second thing, schools have a transition policy that you can communicate to parents. And parents ask schools for their transition policy for a child to be able to transition. For example, when you come to the cradle, we give a child up to 2 weeks for our chemistry to work. Because chemistry can jam. Chemistry can actually jam between a child and a school. But we give it up to 2 weeks. It's at 2 weeks that you send Yechi into Chaganye.
We have tried.
We've tried naye, that child keeps crying that they cannot manage. That's 2 weeks. 1 week is not enough, parents. 3 days is not enough. 1 day is not enough for you to give up and say, it jumps. And I took my child there to the cradle, never gonna. When they ask how long you were there, 2 days.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. You understand? So, no, it's the parents who have decided to. They've decided to chuck. 3, parents, please realize that school is a rite of passage. It is actually your child's first experience with a rite of passage. It's their first time to outside of home. It is a big deal, and guess what? It has to happen. It has to happen. It's like saying that my child will never be an adolescent. They will have to leave home. So eventually, so that while it's the most important thing for you, also while it feels a certain way for you, also realize that for your child something greater and far above your, oh my God, my child is actually happening to you. This is the first time they are meeting strangers. They are now going to start to connect with other people, other children, social connections. it's that time when you're going to realize whether what you've been doing at home is actually working. Is your child sharing? Is your child kind? Is your child peaceable? Is your child... That is the time that you actually... So it's such an important time that you don't want it to be clouded by, my child was crying so much and I'm done with the school. No, you want to be able to get those few things inside there. And fourth and last one, because you know that this is a transition period, don't lie to your child. I like to tell parents that start to tell your child in advance, guess what, next year you'll be going to school. Do you know what a school is like? Take them to see what a school looks like. So this is a school. Children come here. They are 2 years. They don't even know what you're talking about yet. But you just take them and you come back. When sports day is happening, real go, and then you say, do you know also you're going to go to school? Do you know also you'll wear a sports uniform? Hey, then you just keep drumming it in. Then even you, and I like parents who are also still studying. Because you're also going to school. So you're able to tell, instead of saying, when they ask where are you going, or they are not asking, you say, oh, guess where I'm going to school now. Or I'm going in the evening, I'm going to work. Then after that, I'll go to school. So that the word school is becomes, kind of comes embedded. And then you also start to tell them, but you know when you're in school, I won't be there. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And now starting to introduce slowly, you let them know. Then when they go to like Sunday school, you said, how was Sunday school? It was fine. Do you know that when you go to school, that's also what's going to happen? I'll leave you there, and then me, I will go also to my school. Also me, I will go to work, but I'll come back and I'll pick you up at 1 p.m. and please be there at 1 p.m. If you're not, call the school and tell him that I'm going to be a bit delayed, but I will be there. And then you come at that time. And yes, for certain parents, you don't need to do that. For certain children, you don't need to go through all that. But if you know that your child is going to struggle with separation anxiety, yes. But also, maybe now this is like the last one. Childcare is not a bad thing. Especially do 2 days a week. 3 days a week to get your child ready for that thing called school, and that separation between the two of you, because you know that it's actually going to happen.
And I think also the right time is also great. I'll tell you a story. My sister, my younger sister, because her sister, who was her older sister, and her older brother were going to school, to kindergarten, she always felt, Panagi, these people are leaving me behind, it's time, let me go to school. And it was at the right age of 3 years old. And when they took her to school, she came back the next day and said, I don't think I'm ready for school. Oh, wow. And my parents let her sit it out for a year. Right now, the girl's a Princeton graduate. Yeah. So I feel just like potty training, if the child's not ready, sometimes they're just not ready, and maybe that's where that chemistry can really refuse to work, because that child is just not ready.
And it's true. The truth is, many of us take our children to school before time. And I know usually these are the people who suffer with these things are the ones who give birth in June. May, June, July, August, where when the school year begins, your child is either too old or is too young.
And they always choose
too young. Because they're like, my child will be the aged one in class.
Especially the girls.
Hey, even boys, they suffer, even boys. But I keep telling parents.
Boys usually, in your mind, you're thinking, even if they're the oldest.
Yeah, it's okay.
They fear when he reaches P7, his voice will break before his friends. Because the girls think people think that far. If it's the last thing that you get from this show, your child would rather start later than sooner, because they'll be ready later rather than sooner.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, and I needed to get an explanation for that. The teachers said when they get to P5, when the work is
a lot,
they can't take it. So that's why they put consideration of older age. They don't want the kid to get to those ages and
be overwhelmed.
They struggle. So it's for the, it's not for now. They're not refusing for now, but they're preparing for the future.
Can parents allow? Anyway,
parents what?
Can they allow?
Don't explain to them.
We do.
Parents and women and love.
Thank you.
the most difficult people and the man with the money. Those are the most difficult people to advise.
About
in
short
life.
men. Move on.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so I feel like there's so many points here. I don't have a child. I'm taking back to nursery, but I wish I could have had this conversation, you know, so many years ago. Because if there's something I've learned here today, it's prepare your child for this for this inevitable rite of passage that they have to take. And in doing that, you will be preparing yourself as a parent. So now you have two prepared people, a prepared parent and a prepared child, which I'm sure will make the journey easier. So if you can just share with us, our dear Bump lovers, what your experiences were. Share in the comment section your experiences taking your children to school. Did you take your child to school this year? Must have been exciting. How did that go? And what was it like? What was that atmosphere like, you know, around you? Please share with us in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. We love you guys so much. And those who are still in Lent and practicing Lent, we do hope that your God goes before you. And we hope that you are fasting. So thanks, ladies, so much for the conversation. Until next time, with love from Bump.